All right, welcome back to the Gamble Smart channel. Mark here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday morning. We are halfway to the weekend. Good times are coming, right? Anyway, today's topic is all about why is it that people believe all these crazy myths and all these things, and they can't really understand how a slot machine works, or they're not willing to. There's actually something to this, and that's why we can't get frustrated at these people. And we're going to talk about the science behind it today, and also hopefully we can convert some of you guys to the believers and understand how slot machines work, because we really do feel that it will convert you into a better slot machine player in the long run if you know exactly how they work and what myths you can just throw out the window because there's no science behind it. Anyway, let's get into it today. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, welcome everybody, and if you're new here, we certainly say welcome to you, and this is Gamble Smart, and we do daily tips every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Central Time. Tips, tricks, education, all kinds of stuff about how the gambling universe works. So if you're new here, we certainly welcome you, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. Okay, this is a great topic. I love this topic. It's going to get a lot of people heated, but that's okay. Just to kind of give you a little bit of background where I'm coming from, I am a computer engineer. I've been writing code for 25 years. I've worked on slot machines. I buy, sell, and restore them. I fix them for customers. I've worked with casinos. I've worked management in casinos, manufacturers, gaming commissions, all of those types of people that are part of the gaming industry. I've worked with all of them, and I still do actively. And this is where I get my information from. I'm not just this guy on the internet randomly just putting stuff out there just to get views. That's just not who I'm about. I am about giving you the best information possible because it's really difficult to plow through some of this stuff, okay? So today we're going to talk about a couple of reasons why you may not believe the reason why all this stuff works. And listen, I understand. I totally get it. This is the reason a big reason we started this channel, and others are following suit. The reason we're doing this is to get you better educated, because we feel if you have a level-headed mind and you understand how everything works, that you're going to be a better gambler, because you're going to be able to spot when these things are starting to consume you, okay? Seriously, I think it'll make a difference, so just hear me out for just a little bit. So we're going to talk about a couple of things, and these are all like how the brain works, right? Okay, I'm not an expert, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but there are some great websites out there that I found, and I want to read you some of what's up there and then kind of explain what it has to do with the gambling world, okay, and how you can make that connection, okay? So the first thing I want to start with is the gambler's fallacy, okay? So let's bring that up on the screen and let's talk about that one. All right, so what is the gambler's fallacy? The gambler's fallacy, also known as the Monte Carlo fallacy, occurs when an individual erroneously believes that a certain random event is less likely or more likely to happen based on the outcome of a previous event or series of events, okay? So what does that mean? Think about slot machines, okay? If you have witnessed something in the past, let's say the bonus symbol is above and below the pay line. If you think that means that the next spin is going to be a bonus because it seems like it's teasing you and it's getting closer, that is the gambler's fallacy at work there, okay? And it's not just on that example. It's on a lot of different things. People step betting or ladder betting. They feel like they're being rewarded for something that has happened in the past and has worked. And that is where the gambler's fallacy comes in. The best example of this is on the roulette table, but it also is for slots as well. But on the roulette table, it's the dummy board. That's what most people call it in this industry, is the dummy board, because it doesn't tell you anything. And what it is it's that board that tells you the past historical numbers that have been called on a roulette table. How many black, how many red, how many green. That's what it's telling you, but it gives you absolutely no indication of what the next ball spin is going to be. It's completely useless. And so people see that and they will make bets based on that historical information when it's not actually doing anything for you. Just because there's been a bunch of blacks in a row doesn't mean that it needs to be red on the next spin. Roulette is not a sequential bet game. Does that make sense? Slot machines are not either. It's not sequentially raising your chances based on past events. So if you've put a bunch of money into a slot machine and you think that it's due to give you something because there's a bonus that's got to be around the corner of Progressive because I put thousands of dollars in this machine and it hasn't paid me anything. Thought this was 90%. What the is going on? Listen, I understand. I know where you're coming from. I really do, because I was there once until I learned how all this stuff works. It's very easy to fall into that trap, but that is not how slot machines are built. Nobody knows what the next spin is going to be. You don't know, the manufacturer, the casino, slot attendants, nobody knows what that next spin is going to yield, okay? And it's there by design. Manufacturers build it that way with the randomness, and the third-party auditors ensure that there is nobody there that can game the system. Casinos would never want to put a slot machine on the casino floor that somebody could figure out and game it, okay? It's not possible. They got to stay within their payback percentages, and everybody's above board when it comes to that, okay? So gambler's fallacy is one of those things that we just all inherently as gamblers fall victim to. And listen, I do too. I mean, if I sit down at a roulette table and there were 10 blacks in the row, I really feel strongly like I should bet red because it's been 10 in a row. You know the odds of that, but it doesn't matter. It's still the same odds every time that ball spins, and it's still the same odds every time you press that button on a slot machine. Okay, so I want to give you a quick example of the gambler's fallacy, and I love this example because it's just absolutely perfect. Basically, and I'll put it up on the screen here, the most famous example of the gambler's fallacy occurred at the Casino de Monte Carlo in Monaco in 1913. The roulette wheel's ball had fallen on black several times in a row. This led people to believe that it would fall on red soon, and they started pushing their chips, betting the ball would fall in a red square on the next roulette wheel turn. The ball did not fall in the red square, but only after a total of 26 turns. 26 times it fell on black before it hit red. And accounts state that millions of dollars have been lost by then. So that is a great example of the gambler's fallacy. Try not to fall victim of that. I understand it's hard, but slot machines, roulette tables, you never know what the next result is going to be. You cannot look into past events or past occurrences to determine what's going to happen in the future, okay? And why is that important to you? Everybody says, well, it doesn't matter, you just go in there and hit a button. How many times have you probably heard where somebody says, we just want, and I had a slot host that told me this once, you know, hey man, you're going to have a great run this week because these machines were hit hard this weekend, hard. Tons of money has been put into them, so they're ready to pay out. Completely false. Completely false. Past occurrences have nothing to do with the future outcomes. Okay? Let's go on to the next thing, which is this is one I really like, and that is confirmation bias. All right, so confirmation bias. Let me go ahead and read the definition, and then let's talk about it. So confirmation bias is people's tendency to process information by looking for or interpreting information that is consistent with their existing belief. This biased approach to decision-making is largely unintentional, and it results in a person ignoring information that is inconsistent with their beliefs. These beliefs can include a person's expectations in a given situation and their predictions about a particular outcome. People are especially likely to process information to support their own beliefs when an issue is highly important or self-relevant. And this explains why we get lit up in the comments every time I bring up topics like this about how slot machines work, because people have very firm beliefs that they understand what is going on, either because they witnessed it themselves or somebody told them a long time ago, and it's hard to break that cycle and to open your mind to listen to other things that might be going on. I am not blaming anybody that comments and says I'm full of and I don't know what I'm talking about, just another guy that's out here spewing bad information. I really don't mind that at all, because I understand where people are coming from with that. I used to be the same guy, okay? I really did. But to me, I've become a better gambler because I've listened to what is actually going on and did my own research. And I don't want you guys just to listen to me and take it to heart and say this is fact. I'd like you to believe me based on my credentials, but still, don't just stop there. You got to do more to convince yourself that there are other things that you need to learn about how all this stuff works. And if you really do want to be a serious gambler, I strongly urge that you do take the time to do that instead of just continuing to believe all these things that could be impacting your gameplay, okay? So confirmation bias is I think the recent video that we used on this, and I'll put it at the end of the video in case you guys haven't seen it, was about ladder betting. Okay, and what ladder betting is basically you just go up in denomination and up in credit amounts until you find one that gives you a good hit or a bonus round. And then for whatever reason, you feel like you're the one that controlled that bonus round to happen because of an action that you performed. But that is confirmation bias because that is not exactly what happened. You just got lucky. You hit the RNG stop at the right moment, the precise moment to give that win. But as humans, we really feel like we had some kind of control over that, okay? Now, I want you to listen to this too because I think this, I'm telling you, I get excited about this stuff because I think this is what explains what is going on here and why so many people have a hard time willing to accept what is actually going on slot machines, for example, in a casino. Confirmation bias is one example of how humans sometimes process information in a logical, biased manner. The manner in which a person knows and understands the world is often affected by factors that are simply unknown to that person. So I understand you guys have not worked in the industry before. You have not seen how these things work. And it sucks because this industry is so tight-lipped about everything. And we're trying to change that. We really are. If any of you out there have been slot techs or slot managers or worked in the casino and you're willing to talk about this stuff, whether it's we hide your identity or whatever, please let us know because we want those people to feel free to talk about this stuff so people can finally get some validation to how the world works inside of a gambling casino, right? Okay, so we definitely want that, but that is why most people tend to not agree with people like myself, which are slot techs and work, with people in the industry. Like you're not willing to believe it right off the bat because I've worked for them. I'm trying to trick you or whatever the case is, and I understand that. I honestly do, but again, it's just human nature to try to confirm things yourself that you don't know or don't understand. It's just natural, okay? The belief system is so strong within humans that they're willing to ignore any truth that has been put in front of them because they have confirmed it themselves by doing some kind of action and then seeing the result of that action, okay? Does that make sense? So that's really what's going on here, but I want to read some more because this gets even better. Humans are better able to rationally process information given equal weight to multiple viewpoints if they are emotionally distant from the issue. Okay? That's what makes this impossible. It really does, because it's like casinos and gambling it's all emotion, right? It's constant emotion. And so how can you be level-headed about this stuff unless you get out of the casino and just put yourself in a frame of mind that you're willing to listen to what could possibly be true or could possibly be different than what you believe or what you've been told. And so when you're inside a casino, it's impossible to try to listen to me. I mean, it really is. It is. It's really funny. All right, so the next one, and this is the one that I think is spot on in my opinion. One explanation for why people are susceptible to confirmation bias is that it is an efficient way to process information. Humans are incessantly bombarded with information and cannot possibly take the time to carefully process each of the information to form an unbiased conclusion. Okay, so that makes sense too, right? It's a lot easier to believe a myth that makes sense than it is to try to dig through all the information, all the, documentation and slot texts talking about it or whatever. It's easier just to believe somebody that says, oh, the casinos make it tight on the weekend because of all the crowds coming in. Well, that makes sense. It's got to be true. It's easier to do that. It's easier to feel that way. But it's more difficult to say, I don't know if that's right. Let me go do research. And nobody has time for that now, right? So I get it. I totally get it. I really do. But hopefully some of you, and if it just helps one person, if this video helps one person to open their mind and to stop believing in the stuff that they've been told or even confirmed by themselves and listen to how these things are actually done, I really feel that you will be a better gambler because you've moved all that stuff out of your mind and you're focused on the stuff that you actually do have control over, okay? And all the stuff that we hear in the comments about, the power lines can be hacked and all that stuff is a distraction. It's a distraction that is not helping you maintain your budget, picking the right machines based on volatility, knowing when to quit, all the things that we talk about on this channel. Those are the things that you got to be focusing on. And all these other things are distractions to get in the way of that, okay? So anyway, I encourage you guys, and I did put the links up. We'll put it in the description as well as in the video, of course, for these 2 articles. And I encourage you to go and read up on it if you really do want to. I can't stress this enough. I know it's boring. I know a lot of you don't care. A lot of you just want to know, I just want to be able to go in and find a machine that's going to pay me. Why can't you just tell me that and shut up about all this other stuff? I wish I could, but you can't. There's no way to do it. I wish I could. And anybody that's telling you that they can is full of it, okay? Do your research. Do your research. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you guys learned something. I'm very excited about this topic. I love these things. And if you want to, hey, we have been engaging, all of our members have been engaging on this topic in our Discord chat. If you're interested in doing that, you can join for $4.99 a month, and you can get access to the chat as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. We're trying to throw as much as we can in there. But this is something that we've been talking about for weeks, and I thought, you know what, this would make a great video, so let's put it out and see what kind of comments we get. And we encourage all comments. Be respectful, be nice. Don't call me an idiot or whatever. Just be respectful, state your opinion, and we will certainly reply to it. We read every comment that comes through because we want to hear from you and learn what it is that we may need to do to better educate you or to rephrase it in a different way that will make it click finally, okay? All right, so that's going to do it for today. We really do appreciate you guys, and as always, gamble smart, gamble safe. And remember, our live stream is tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. Hope you can join us, open Q&A, and I think Brantley might be back. So guys, take it easy. We wish you the best out there, and gamble smart, gamble safe. I am Mark.